In a hidden grove, nestled beside the oldest banyan tree in the valley of Everbrook, which, little did anyone know, was just outside Moulton, shimmering unseen, lived a tiny sprite named Elara. Elara wasn't like the other sprites who flitted about tending to flowers. She had a secret, a single, shimmering seed, no bigger than her fingertip. It was a seed of wishing, whispered to have fallen from a forgotten star. One sunny afternoon, a young girl named Zara wandered into the grove. She was feeling down. Her pet parrot, Captain Fizzer's had flown away that morning, and no amount of searching had brought him back. Tears welled in her eyes as she sat beneath the banyan tree, tracing patterns in the moss. Elara, hidden amongst the leaves, felt a pang of sympathy. Carefully, she fluttered down and landed softly beside Zara. In her tiny hands, she held out the shimmering seed. "Excuse me," Elara chirped, her voice like the tinkling of tiny bells. "I sense a sadness." Zara looked up, startled. She gasped at the sight of the luminous sprite. "Who? What are you?" "I am Elara," the sprite replied gently. "And this," she held out the seed, "is a seed of wishing. It is said that if you hold it in your hand and whisper your deepest desire, the magic of the stars might listen." Zara looked at the seed, then at Elara. Hope flickered in her heart. Carefully, she took the seed. It felt warm and pulsed with a soft light. Closing her eyes, she held it tightly and whispered, her voice thick with emotion, "I wish for Captain Fizzer's to come home." She opened her eyes. The seed in her hand had dimmed slightly. Elara smiled encouragingly. "Now, we wait." They sat together in comfortable silence. A gentle breeze rustled the leaves of the banyan tree. Suddenly, a familiar squawk echoed through the grove. "Squawk! Zara! Zara!" Zara's head snapped up. Perched on a low-hanging branch was Captain Fizzer's his colorful feathers ruffled but his bright eyes full of recognition. "Captain!" Zara cried, leaping to her feet. The parrot swooped down and landed on her shoulder, nuzzling her cheek. Tears of sadness turned to tears of joy. Zara looked back at Elara, her face radiant. "It worked! The seed! It really worked!" Elara simply smiled, a light as bright as a seed returning to her own eyes. The stars are often kinder than we think. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Zara hugged Captain Fizzer's tightly. She knew she would never forget the magical grove and the tiny sprite who had offered her a gift of hope. She also knew that sometimes the greatest magic lies not just in wishes, but in the kindness of others.